Hi Starlights, I'm Janelle Morgan and this is my first video of the Ask Janelle segment. I'm super excited about this because I normally do my Ask Janelle column online and I just do written responses to questions. So this is my first time actually videoing a response to a question. I'm always really flattered that people are seeking my advice or my ideas about different things that are happening in their lives or they're just their curiosities in general. And so it's just a thrill for me to be able to bring it to video. And you guys can kind of go through the process with me as I express what my responses to the questions are. For those of you who have not heard of me before, I'm Janelle Morgan. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, but I like to call myself an intuitive counselor. I really work with people that are interested in connecting more with themselves spiritually and determining what their life's purpose is and moving in a direction that helps them to trust themselves as they go through this spiritual journey that I call life. It's really awesome to see people to grow along this process and to become who they want to become, to design a life that's dreamy for them. So I'm excited and thrilled and at all times to go through the process with them. So without further ado, I will read my first video blog question. This question is coming from Dana P. in Bristow, Virginia, and her question is, Janelle, can you go in a little deeper about what the ego is and how to tame it? Sure. Dana, the ego is the part of the self that is your personality, essentially. It's the piece of you that experiences fear, that judges other people and other characteristics of people and situations and circumstances. It's the thing within you that's like the devil on your shoulder that is constantly undermining the progress of the higher self. It's always got to be right. The ego thrives on being correct. It does not care if it sabotages people or itself in the process. It wants to be right. The ego is the piece of the personality that people usually will know you as. It's that part that says that it has to be a particular way. That says that this is how I dress, this is how I look, this is how I present, this is who I am. But in all actuality, the ego is not at all who you are. It's who you learn to be. It's what your mom has taught you, your dad has taught you, it's who your teachers have taught you to be, it's who your friends know you to be and who you've adjusted to become because of that. And so it's a conglomeration of all the different things that you think you're supposed to be in life. And much of the ego is falsehood. Much of it just does not matter at all. Much of our judgments and our perceptions and our ideas about the world are not realistic and are not rooted in reality. And when we really take a good look at it, none of it matters. And so ego tries to make it all matter. It's the thing that I like to think of as, I always call it the horns because it's constantly like butting into something. It's like that devil with the horns, on the cartoons they have the devil on the shoulder and it's got the horns and it's just like trying to make you think it should be whatever it's trying to convince you of, but in all actuality it's not that. It's an illusion. It's all an illusion. So um that's the ego. My advice for taming the ego is um breathing. It really starts with breath. It starts with calming down. It stops with settling your mind and stopping it from thinking all the time. And so just by taking a simple deep breath, everything slows down. Everything calms down. And so you can finally get to the space in between the thoughts. And you can start to observe the kinds of thoughts that come to your mind often. And when you observe those kinds of thoughts, you start to catch, well, wait a minute, how much of that is truth? And how much of it is something that somebody has told me over the years or something that I may have thought was the case based on my comparison of myself to someone else. So taming the ego starts with a breath, and then it goes into an observation of the thoughts, and then a questioning process, beginning to question what's truth and what's not truth. that's coming out of your own head. And once you begin to figure out what's true and what's not true, then you know what to toss and what to keep. And once you stack your keep pile up really high, ego's tamed, ego's calmer. Now, ego works hard, and it's been in years and years and years of practice. So it'll rear its head again. The horns will pop back out again. But you have a toolkit that you constantly are employing that says, is that a true thought? Is that a true thought? And once you're in practice of that process, then it becomes easier and easier and easier, and life becomes more and more simple. So I will do a written response just because I like to write to that question, Dana. And I will be posting that very soon. But I wanted to give a video response because I'm excited about bringing Ask Janell to video. And also, this question came to me a few days ago, and I didn't want to prolong the process of getting you an answer to your question. I try to answer as quickly as I possibly can when I do get questions in. So I'm excited. I'll be posting this video soon. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube, and you guys can get a response to what the ego is and how to tame it. So if you have further questions, anybody feel free to email me at info@janellmorgan.com, or you can check me out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Janell, Janell, Morgan 411, or on Twitter at Janell Morgan 411. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Peace.